Hello, everyone. This is your market update for Tuesday, November 11th, 2025. Happy Veterans Day. Starting with the headlines, U.S. shutdown nears end as Senate passes deal, House readies vote. A record setting 41-day government shutdown is on path to end as soon as Wednesday after the Senate passes a temporary funding measure. So it looks like the government shutdown will be ending here shortly. Over to the charts, we're going to start here with the 2006 correlation. This is what I thought gold was going to do. We're getting a little variation now, so we got to see what happens next. In 2006, we had a very explosive 36% rally that lasted about 2 months, and that was countered by a 25% correction that lasted about half the time. But I want to bring your attention to the 50-day EMA. We never got a B wave bounce here. Prices paused at the 50-day, and then they continued lower. Tagging the 200-day moving average. If we go over to the current chart, we got a 32% rally that lasted about 2 months. We had the peak, and now we had an initial decline to the 50-day EMA, and it looks like we're getting a bounce. I was hopeful that prices were just going to pause here and then break immediately below the 50-day EMA, but it looks like we are going to get a B wave bounce, which tells me we might not make it to that 3,500 target that I was expecting, and also that this correction will probably take longer than November 20th, where I was expecting a bottom. So we have to see what kind of legs this bounce has. I really don't want to see it get much above 4150. If it gets above 4200, then I'd say this could maybe test the October highs. So I think the next few days are pretty important. But if prices begin to pause and roll over here around 4150, below 4200, then I think this B wave could be completing, and then we'll get that final C wave lower. I'm guessing between 36 and 3700, but first we got to see where this B wave ends. Over to the current chart of gold, futures trading at $4,148. We have a little price gap here around 4140. We'll see if we close above that, but there's pretty significant resistance around 4150 to 4175. So we'll see if we get through there. But again, I think if prices begin to roll over in the coming days, then this B wave may be completing, and then a measured move. We'll have to see where this B wave ends, but a measured move would put it around, if it terminates around 4170, would put us again between 3600 and 3700. If this is a measured ABC correction. Over to silver, currently trading at $51 even, getting a nice bounce. I really don't want to see it get much above $51 or $52. If this continues through $52, then I'm going to say we're probably going to at least revisit the October high and possibly extend beyond that. So again, this is a B wave, I think, and if prices roll over here in the next couple days, then I think we'll probably head back down towards the low $40. I don't think we're probably going to make it back to this gap at $39 unless something significant changes. Over to platinum, currently trading at $1,463. Prices have not taken out the late October high like gold and silver have, so platinum is remaining relatively weak, and I think it might be the first to roll over, so I'll be keeping an eye on that. Over to GDX, finished up yesterday, 4.73%. I put a Fibonacci retracement on here. We had the initial wave down, and now we're getting a retracement. We made it to the 50% retracement, and we'll see how much more this goes. But really, I don't think we're going to make it much past the 61.8% retracement, which is 78.65. And I would need to see progressive closes above the price gap at $80 to lead me to believe this has more upside. Otherwise, again, I think this is just a bounce, and we're probably going to roll over here in the next few days and have one more leg lower that could take us back towards around $60. And then lastly, Bitcoin currently trading at $104,534. I'd say there's about 70% probability that this was the 4-year cycle top. To change my mind, prices would first have to recover the 200-day moving average, which is around 110,500. And then really, to support new all-time highs, we'd have to see it take out this pivot here around 116,500. But anything that rolls over below the 200-day moving average and makes new lows below 98, 98,000, then I'd say this would almost guarantee a 4-year cycle top. And if we get below 92,000, then I'd say we are definitely in a new bear market. So that's it for now. Have yourself a wonderful day, and we'll talk to you later.